Hi, Zesska here. Today I'm going to share with you one of the mediums that I currently work with, wearable art. In order to really understand this, you have to know a little bit about my background. At the age of 4, I started sewing, and by 16, I had my first job working in the fashion industry. I was a design assistant for a wedding and prom gown designer. I continued my work in the industry for 15 years. Many of those years I worked in Europe in high-end fashion. Eventually, I got sick of being in the fashion industry. The toxic work environment was depleting, and I hated the fact that my paycheck came from deforestation. So I left the field in search of something else. I started working as a yoga teacher, and that brought me straight into mental health. I started working at recovery centers teaching yoga and meditation, and those recovery centers led me into working in mental health clinics. From there, I got lucky enough that the art therapist left, and as they knew I had a very creative background, they asked me to fill this position. So for the last 10 years, I've been working in mental health, and for the last 5 years, I've been working as an art therapist in the mental health field. The other aspect you have to know about my background in order to really understand my art is my effort, my energy, and social rights activists. I've spoken on podcasts and I've been to rallies, social justice film festivals, and put a lot of effort into really making my mark in the social rights activist field. So, all of these contribute into the artwork that I'm going to share with you today. The first piece of artwork I want to share with you is currently being exhibited at Women's Work.art gallery space in New York. It's part of their collection, Perfectly Imperfect, The Flawed Beauty of the Human Form. This is a jacket. It's a leather jacket. Down the sleeves, you can read, "Every body is beautiful." And there's all sorts of different body shapes on this jacket. These are all bodies that have been through different transitions. So either weight gain, weight loss, they've aged, there's wrinkles, they've given birth, their stomach is like wrinkled and they're dripping milk out of their breasts. Their hips have widened, they've gotten wrinkly, saggy, large. And this jacket really celebrates the beauty of the transitions that our body goes through. We live in a society that wants to shame us for our experiences that are seen on our bodies. And I wanted to celebrate this. I want to try to change the narrative that our bodies are seen as ugly after they age, after they've given birth. And I want us to really see these changes, these growth points of our life as something beautiful. And I want us to really respect every aspect of that. This next piece of art, Breathe Together Kimono, this is a piece that's currently at the Orange County Center of Contemporary Arts. This is a gallery space in California. This is taps into my yoga background. So this kimono is representative of this moment when you're in a yoga room and there are people from all different backgrounds in that space. And when I'm teaching and I'm cueing the breath, and in yoga we call the breath prana, there's a moment where we're all inhaling and exhaling together and united. And there's a shared energy in the room and a shared connection. And it's the two opposites of or the opposites of all types of people coming together, just like the sun and the moon. But we can have these moments where we have shared connection, when we share breath and when we share energy and when we share prana together. This next piece was actually one of my oldest pieces that I'm going to actually share with you today. This was a piece that I designed and created during COVID. And as we all know, there was a huge uprising. There was a lot of human rights activism going on during that time. And so I wanted to create a piece of artwork I could wear if I was to go outside that would represent my shared compassion for all humanity. So if you can see, there's like LGBT fist in the air, there's every single skin color in the air, there's like female hands pumping in the air, male hands pumping in the air, and transgender hands. And down the sleeves, it says, words of support towards all the different communities that need to be embraced and that need to have the allies like myself. This next piece is another piece that is currently at the Orange County Center of Contemporary Arts. It's a Mind fanny pack. And the Mind fanny pack is a uterus where the fallopian tube is giving the middle finger. This is women's rights. This is about this body part is owned by the person who it exists inside of. And so this fanny pack is owned by the wearer. Nothing goes in the fanny pack or out of the fanny pack without the wearer's consent. And if you see, there's like a small little pin I have here too. So for this gallery show, I actually had these small pins made because I love the idea of having an financially accessible piece of art that anyone can take home. And so I was selling these pins for $10. So anyone who came to the show could actually, for $10, take home a little piece of art. This is the Imprisoned Uterus. This is also part of that same collection at the Orange County Center for Contemporary Arts. So on this prison uniform, it states, "My body, my uterus, hands off, laws off, get off. I mean, really get off. This is mine, not yours. Stop regulating my body. Stop ejaculating your laws into my uterus. Stop making laws like you own this. This is not yours. Stop imprisoning my body with your laws and regulation. This is mine. It's mine, 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 mine." And this next slide is a little slide of the mannequin that I have at the Orange County Center for Contemporary Arts wearing this. If you see, I've added like a few things. So the mannequin is wearing the fanny pack. I added some sperm laws down at her feet. She's holding a sign that says, "Stop imprisoning my uterus." And inside her ear is the little uterus mind pin that she's wearing as earrings. This next piece was also is also currently at the Orange County Center for Contemporary Arts. This is "Hands and Laws Off My Body" dress. And this is a dress that starts with that your body is meant to only be touched by the people who you give consent to. And your body is also meant to only have regulations of the people who you give consent to. So if you're not getting consent to touch, or you're not giving consent for someone else to regulate your body, they need to take their hands off. It's part of a series of several different other pieces of artwork. This one as well. This is the "Hands and Laws Off My Body" trench. And they're both kind of inspired by a lot of the mental health work I do and the stories that I hear from my clients. I hear time and time again about women who have been forced into prostitution, gotten pregnant from one of the men who have raped them, and now with the new regulations and laws in some of the states, these women are forced into birthing the children of their rapists. And this is just a completely unethical approach to law. It's an unethical approach to ownership of half of the people's organs within this country that we live in. And so it's basically claiming it like, this is mine. Get your hands off. Get your laws off. This is not for you to regulate. This is the most personal thing that we own as humans, our own personal body. And so to put laws and regulations on that is completely unethical. So when I had this collection at the center, when I had the opening evening for this collection at the Orange County Center for Contemporary Art, my kids were like begging to have some artwork made for themselves. So the day of the opening, I made these little shirts for my kids so they can feel like they were part of the artwork and part of that collection of "Get your hands and laws off my little body." So, here's my daughter. She has a uterus inside of her body. So when I'm working in social justice for women's rights, I'm also working for her and for her future. This next piece is also at the Orange County Center for Contemporary Arts. And so this takes a different approach into women's rights activism. A lot of times we're screaming and yelling for the things that we want, but this takes an approach of empathy and compassion. And so, in order to make big changes in this field, we have to come to it with love and compassion for everyone. And the concept of this is that lawmakers are to wear this suit for 9 months leading up to any laws that they're going to possibly make about abortion rights. And so, with that 9 months of experiencing this suit that simulates several different pregnancy symptoms, it simulates hemorrhoids by having a tennis ball wedged up the anal area of the body. It simulates breast leakage by having breast milk leak out the breast. It simulates urinary incontinence by having urine spill out. It simulates diarrhea by having a little pack of poop that will leak out of the suit as well. The sock that you see there has puke inside of it to simulate nausea. And if you see the weights on the mannequin, this is simulate the joint instability that pregnant individuals can experience. So after lawmakers experience this for 9 months, they can come into making laws with empathy and compassion. And hopefully, through empathy and compassion, there can be real change in the world that we live in. This next slide is kind of just the showcase of these three pieces that all have to deal with women's reproductive rights that are all currently at the Orange County Center for Contemporary Arts. And then this next one is all of my work that's showcased at the Orange County Contemporary Arts currently. And off to the left, you can see my husband and my two kids on the night of the opening. Well, that's everything I'd like to share. Thanks so much.